Hey there, gamers! Poland's been hitting pretty hard this season, am I right? Anyway, you're probably wondering what I'm doing here, apart from tanning my schnozzle. Hey there, gamers! Elden Ring schmelden ring's what I always say. I'm broke, so I'm still playing Dark Souls 2. Oh, I'm so broke I couldn't even afford a proper intro for this video. So here's the question of the day. Can you beat Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin, using whips only, without dying, and without resting at bonfires? This is a no deaths, no bonfires run. I may use no exploits or glitches, with one minor exception. Whips are my only means of dealing damage, and no weapon buffs, just for good measure. This turns Dark Souls 2 into a hyper-realistic game, since you've gotta walk everywhere, pay for everything with money you don't have, pray for a miracle to rescue you from your past mistakes instead of casting one, and are only armed with the breaking point of a wet noodle. In order to give myself a little bit of an edge, I'll allow myself 2 checkpoints. One after some initial setup when the run really begins, and one after obtaining the 4 Great Souls. I got this idea during a test run with the average Dex user over here, where this guy did something I wanted a certain someone to do to me. No, wait. It was when this guy did something that I wanted a certain someone else to do to me. Repeatedly. No, now I remember. It was when this guy munched me to death and I realized that I am no god tier gamer after all, and it slowly dawned on me what I had gotten myself into. If you consider this cheating, that's fine, but that's what I went with.
An undead has come to play.
I gave my character an appropriate name and made him look like the average retired Dex user now regretting his life's decisions. Explorers seemed like a well-rounded starting class, and I chose the Petrified Something as my starting gift. I then made my way through things betwixt towards the 2 most annoying characters in the game.
You, give it, Moose. Yes, you! Give us Silky!
Your mother won't come back. If you drop a Petrified Something, these brainlets will give you a bunch of unique items. This is where I allowed a minor exploit and uploaded my save game because I didn't want to restart the run 20 times over. After some tries, I got what I wanted. The old whip. This thing deals huge damage, but it breaks in around 10 hits, which isn't enough to beat any boss. So, I make my way to iconic Majula, light the bonfire, loot everything in sight, and leave as fast as I came, just like my motivation to do something productive. Since the next whip is only obtainable after the last giant, and we can't beat him with our current equipment, I used my fist to pick a fight in the forest with approximately everything that moved, and looted everything that didn't. This guy was supposed to drop another Petrified Something, but oh well. Time to give the giant a foot massage, I guess. This is basically the entire fight in one scene, so let's just move on. I used the key to grab the Ring of Restoration that, albeit very slowly, heals you over time, but I figured it might be useful in a run where all available healing items are consumables. Next, I broke into the zoo, got attacked by some morbidly obese Ninja Turtle stands, picked up the standard whip, and got the hell out of there. After buying the key to someone else's property from an honest businesswoman and putting my life in unnecessary risk, I went back to Majula across a field of corpses. Overall, the whip has acceptable damage and great range and crowd control, but its biggest drawback are the long startup and recovery animations. This makes timing your attacks properly extremely important. The moveset isn't anything spectacular, but offers some nice enough variety. I leveled up, had the Emerald Herald increase my load, because that's what she's good at, disturbed some gamer in his mother's basement and gave him a proper prostate exam, before using some souls to level up 2 more times to be able to use my whips. Then I went back to things in the middle, did some damage testing, and did all the sconces for later. Now it was time for WWE's newest pay-per-view Royal Rumble match. I became the new super heavyweight champion by simply counting my opponent's steps up to the number of rejections I usually get by my crushes. Here is your winner, The Dwarf was mostly just running, a bit of looting, financing this guy's alcohol addiction only to feel bad and take the money back, and being too lazy to open up the shortcut. Now it's time for our first real boss. The old whip gives us some really good damage early on with some fancy animations. But we soon have to switch to the inferior standard whip. There were some tight moments here thanks to the DS2 hitboxes, but in the end I managed to secure a victory. There wasn't much to do in the last best style, so I directed all of my blood flow into my boner, passed out, and magically awoke in Majula. Some shopping later, I returned to things with equal distance to both ends, freed this guy who looked at Medusa's butt or something, crashed the anonymous crackhead meeting, and did the final scones. This spawns this guy, who happily drops another petrified something for a second old whip. A side note on repairing my weapons. Since I can't replenish my weapon's durability by resting at a bonfire, I usually just broke them on these pigs' spines and had them repaired because it's much cheaper. With some serviceable equipment at hand, there is only one more boss between me and the first checkpoint. The two old whips were dealing some big damage, almost lasting through the entire fight, and the pursuer went down, dropping the ring of blades for me. I shipped myself using what I can only imagine American postal services work like, picked up a present for my pal Andre's birthday, and was too afraid to ask Lucatil if he wants to tag along, since he always forgets my name. The guys at Andre's were already thrashing the place, and he was no less shit-faced. I had him do some black labor and took an erection home. I used most of my souls to level up, freed this Barbie doll so I could give her the worst fits, and created my first checkpoint. This run was off to a great start. Now the real run begins. First, I needed to get back to the last best style. Would be nice to have the shortcut opened up, huh? In the last best style, I cleared out the courtyard, looted some stuff, upgraded my weapon, and finally made my way towards the most important piece of equipment in this build, the Bracing Knuckle Ring. This ring increases equipment durability, and with my whips as fragile as a Twitter user, this thing is an absolute must-have. I moved on towards Sinner's Rise, hoping that said rise didn't occur between your legs then. Would you consider these two and the others from before twins or quadruplets? The mathematician needs to know the coffin size. I cleared out the area, almost died from getting farted on, and then realized that I would have no candlelight dinner with the Sinner because I didn't bother with the Sentinels. Oh well, I'm no stranger to a little tussle in the dark. So in I went. I immediately whipped out all my charm, but I should have brought some flowers. Or maybe just get good at dodging. With Sticky Stinker over there in hand and Primal Bonfire alight, only 3 more Great Souls remain. I increased my Virgin bonus, got pounced on by creepy old men with balls so blue they turned green, and didn't think that this was what my horoscope meant when it warned me of a Scorpio. Once again, I realized my dodges were on point. Waited for the boss to better fight to arrive, took something off of her that Riley Reid would love to use, and flogged her to death. I looted some stuff in the doors of Pharaohs and bonered homeward. There, I gave a Nigerian prince all my savings so that he could claim his heritage, had a main character moment, and ran all the way back to the last Bastille just so I could give Andre carbon monoxide poisoning. I returned to the prince only to find out that I had been scammed, which didn't make me nearly as mad as having to pay this cunt to open up the passage to the huntsman's corpse. In the corpse, I grabbed the newest addition to my arsenal, the Notched Whip. I didn't intend on using it, but it looks funny the way it wiggles when you attack. Up next was the Bone Zone, but they forgot that I was born in a boner zone. Also, why do these guys have one of the only good themes in the game? Hell yeah. This is a fight where the whip's crowd control really shown. The Scallies went to Halley and I met up with an Orestone trader that didn't sell a single Orestone. Maybe you should start stealing keys as well. Shortly after, I got compelled by the power of the thought. Unfortunately, during the next part my recording's video is broken, but I still think that you can make out what happened. Yes, I died with the covetous demon. Where can I return my gamer license? I'm a gamer, I don't die, I just was born. Well, here we go again. Would be really nice to have that shortcut opened up, huh? Oh look, I found someone to unload my frustration with. Well, I guess he got what he pursued in life. Well, time for the walk of shame. And from now on, let's just avoid dying from, flatulences. Something was a bit off about the walk of shame this time, although I couldn't quite put my finger on it. Now back to dying. I don't know if you could tell, but I may have lost my focus a bit. Anyway, this sick parry is proof of its return though, and not soon after, the sinner knelt before the deed, that is me. Oh, and by the way, I refined my route more and more with every attempt, and I'm only mentioning the most important parts of my build from now on. This time, I decided to flog Freya before going back to Earthen Peak. Nazika did what she does, and by that I mean, she died. Funnily enough, this may be the only thing that the Prowling Magus is better at than any other boss in the game. I performed some intense ziplining and caused the stick to spontaneously combust by playing my mixtape. I also learned that spiders have a horrible taste in music because they all ran away. The Duke's dearest Freya was up next. I charged valiantly into the fight and forgot that two-handing my weapon extinguishes my torch. I would make a joke about this, but the gameplay speaks for itself. Once I had scrambled the pieces of my brain that still worked together, I got on the famous Zeldora merry-go-round and sent Freya to Valhalla. Two down, two to go. Back at the Huntsman's corpse, I found a message where the notched whip was that I was sure to keep in mind for later. I gave the Skelly Bellies a bona fide flaying, and I'll never understand what wheel and deal even means. I have sad news for you all, because there won't be another Shrek movie. Now it was time for my revenge. In all honesty though, beating this guy is like having sex with a fat chick. It may be fun, but you don't brag about it. So all I can say is, did they really give this guy a second face? Not like it mattered, cause he's whipped cream now. Elven Peak was a ton of fun.
Let's go party hard, cocktails at the mini bar. Listening to Epic, but I'm skipping to the cardi part. Let's go party hard, slowly go.
I got invaded by more people than there are currently playing the new Battlefield, and felt really sad when I quit out, because I never get invaded. Finally, I found the man I'd come here for, listened to his Vati-ass lore dump, bought myself a second standard whip, and deflacidified my bone. Bear, seek, lest, and I hope the real gamers out there know what's coming. That's right boys, we're power stancing. More damage, new moves, I believe higher durability, and most importantly, we run around looking like an overly buff animal trainer looking for trouble. Big ladder for a big boy, and it's down into the shitter to do some plumbing, cause I've heard there's a big turd blocking the cycle of fire. This jump is easily the part I've practiced the most for this run, and thank the heavens, I made it. Fuck this jump. There's not much to say about the gutter, I had a quick route through it and only stopped to pick up some items along the way. The Black Gulch saw the first and only use of our notched whip to destroy the poison-spitting statue. I edged my way forward and will never understand why some people hate the NPC invaders so much. He dead. Great Soul number 3 was next. Somehow, the Rotten seemed more afraid of me than I was of him, with how often he backed away from me. Which I can't blame him for, considering the raw confidence my power stance exerts. That isn't to say he didn't get a few good hits in. What does his move even do? Ultimately, the Rotten expired and we had our third Great Soul in hand. Only one more to go. Some safety level ups later, I stood before the Queen's Fog Gate, and really, the only thought that occupied my mind during this encounter was that I wanted to use her as a whip. I took an elevator up and, yeah, why wouldn't there be a lake of lava up here? For whatever reason, I quit out against the arguably easier Fencer Sharon, but then decided to take on Dennis the Menace. He really didn't make it easy, but I sent him back to the Shadow Realm. Now, here's my super secret Iron Keep strat. Just backstab everything. This guy, and this guy, some more, and sir, this is a demonstration. Thank you. Don't forget this guy now and, oh no. And as I gazed over the naked sea, they did not know fear. They did not know revenge. Nor struggle.
I'm fast as fuck, boy.
Nor strife. I gave my soul to the sea and embraced nudity.
Nice.
Be gone! Fuck! Deja vu! Oh no! Get the fuck out of here, bitch!
Yo, chick, so glad you good shit.
Triple kill!
Oh look, I peeped the ass out and I was like, damn, she thick as fuck. Turn around, TT.
Why is everyone stabbing me in the back?
Because it's easy. And it does a lot of damage.
I'm in danger!
Help me! Help me! I'm gonna do what's called a pro gamer move.
Hit me, hit me, hit me, hit me. You can't.
Once again, it was time to embark, my journey taking me through the Eurotunnel this time, at the end of which I was treated to the finest British weather. The Buckingham Palace could use a paint job, but I bought myself a very precious souvenir in the gift shop regardless. To my regret, I threw away the receipt, which the royal guard didn't believe me.
Then pay with your blood!
After invading an invader's private space, the queen informed me that the king ain't no cock, and so I was left with this leg's first boss fight. It wouldn't be Dark Souls 2 if it wasn't another gang fight, just as it wouldn't be Dark Souls 2 if it wasn't an easy snack. This victory allowed me to progress to what has to be the worst room in all of Drang Lake. Mirror Knight was up next, and apart from some unpredictable mix-up in his combos, the only problematic part of this fight are potentially the NPCs he spawns. To circumvent my cheeks getting pounded, I used the standard whip on the knight and instantly annihilated the NPCs with my old whips the moment they emerged from the mirror. Ultimately, the mirror wasn't strong enough to reflect my dashing face any longer, and the battle was won. I returned to Majula and made sure I was as prepared as could be, because I would have to go through the Shrine of Amana and the Undead Crypt in one go if I didn't want to traverse the shrine multiple times. Which I didn't. I held a passionate speech before my noble supporters and made my way back to the castle to claim my crown. I carefully carved a path through the early part of the shrine until I came upon the first difficult part. 3 Archdragon Pilgrims. They are already challenging enough in a 1 vs 1 environment, so I carefully tried luring them out, which, thankfully, worked well enough. As annoying as it may be, the bullet hell section isn't too hard. You simply need to be patient and take the aimbotters out one at a time. The magic quartz ring you get after defeating the Mirror Knight also reduces their damage by a noticeable amount. If you're not me, forget to put it on. The next part was the one I was worried about the most. Funnily enough, I found a pretty reliable cheese strategy on accident, because these hammer bros really like to get stuck in this spot. Naturally, I abused it as much as possible, but these final 2 guys were actual big brains. Closing the store provided me with just enough time to defeat one before the other Megamind broke in from my back porch. Finally, and for the first time in my life, I skedaddled past a marsh pit and found myself face to face with a 2-in-1 water cattle and free win. The undead crypt was one giant sprint where I only stopped at my drug dealer of choice. And can you please speak up a little? And to once again dunk on the people that think invaders are hard. Now it was time for Valstad. Personally, I think this is one of the best fights in the game, so I'll leave you with the highlights. King's bling bling in hand, our beloved Orestone trader now actually sells some ore stones, which I made good use of. Nothing to say about Aldiras or the show about the waiting simulator, but I think Shanalot should consider a career as a tour guide. I speedran the dragon area and my god, did they put these enemies in fucking tank chocolate or what? But I digress. I told the minimum wage employee that I wanted to talk to his manager, and he may not have talked in the literal sense, but he gave me apt compensation. I traveled to the past and killed giant Hitler or something, which leaves us with only 2 more bosses left to beat. I spent all of my souls and got as prepared as I could possibly be back at Majula before venturing out on the hopefully final leg of my journey. But for that, I have something special planned. Alright everyone, we are indeed live right now. As you can see, we are standing right outside the Throne of Want, with only 2 more bosses left to beat, Throne Watcher and Defender, and Nashandra. But before we enter, I wanted to give my final thoughts on the run. Was it fun? For the most part. Fuck the Iron Keep though. Taking it slow after gaining access to Drang Lake really paid off since I managed to get here without a single death. Technically, if I beat this challenge now, I never even used the second checkpoint. But I still don't count this as a true no-death run, since I had the option available. Overall, this run took about 30 hours and about 70% of my will to live. Now, let's get to those 2 gamers. Watcher and Defender are the final real challenge of this run. My test runs yielded mixed results, but I won't be deterred by this. Let's do this. Alright, so you got to be really careful here when you pick your window of attack. unlike me right now, because they might just do one of those wombo combos. We're gonna get high real quick, popping some shrooms. We gotta be careful to chunk both of them down at the same time, because otherwise they will revive each other. Oh yeah, and she's also got some of those DS2 hitboxes, you know what I mean? Good stuff. No, that's fine. Oh my god. Okay, so he's lubing up right now. He now hits like an absolute freight train. And he also gets some funky walking animations. Okay, so he's pretty low. We gotta deal more damage to her. Oh, that's a good spot. And her. Oh no. This ain't good. Thankfully, he's still pretty slow. We might, yeah. Let's use the old whips now. Yes, that's the damage. Okay, eat another shroom. She's lubing up. This should be. This is good. This is great. Yeah. Oh yeah, there it is. There he goes. Pulling out his Fortnite dance. Oh, he's... Alright. This is... Oh no! This isn't good. Where's my... I'm dead. Please don't. Oh my god! Oh my fucking god! Holy shit, that was close. He's funky again, but that's it. That should be it. That is horrible. Fuck! Oh my god. I actually fucking died. One more hit on any of them. Got greedy in the end there. Yeah. So, I guess I'll see you again once I've done all of this shit over again. Hell yeah. Alright, so this time no getting greedy. Just stay calm and hit when it's safe. 1, 2. God, fuck. No! These fucking cunts. We're also going to be using the old whips right off the bat. Just no holding back. They deal a lot more damage. But they break really fast, so we'll have to use repair powder as we go. What's it? God. How did he not hit me? Alright, she's already half health almost. Now we need to focus on him a bit. Okay, she'll buff now. That's good damage. Yeah, she's buffing. Another hit on him. Okay, it's looking good. 2. Okay. It's only a thrust. Whew. Oh shit. Repair for my weapon breaks. Because that would really suck. I think I'll also just shroom up this again. We have enough of those after all. See? We need them anyway. Alright, he's reasonably low as well. Oh, she's buffing. Ooh, this is good. Yes, big damage. Should I? No, not quite, not quite. I need to get him lower. Come on, please attack me. Doesn't matter. This is 2-hit combo, so don't... Ouch. Shroom? Oh, I'm still here. Doesn't matter, doesn't matter. We have enough of those. Okay, no! Fucking... Who dodges in 2022, man? What is this? Dark Souls 3? Oh, that's a... We do not want to get hit by that. Come on, you little gamer. Just... Okay, this is good. This isn't. I think we have this. I think we have this. 1, 2, and murder him. Alright, she's down. Now her. Alright. Thank God. Okay, heal up quickly, and I think the Chandra should be a cakewalk. God damn. I'm just glad that's over with. Hopefully, no Shrine of Amana anymore. The final boss of this game is really just your average goth chick. Really all you need to do is dodge these easy to dodge combos. But I don't think the old whips will hold out for long enough here. Unless we spam repair powder. Like real gamers. 1, 2, and... Okay. Ouch. This is good. No, mommy. 2. Alright, alright. Not even close. 2, and this time 3. Yeah, pretty difficult boss. Very challenging, especially compared to the Stunlock gang. Is she even trying? Like, how many attacks does she have? 2 combos and a fucking laser. And I'm getting hit because I'm a trash talking idiot. Get high, faster, boy. And that's it. That is the fucking run, ladies and gentlemen. Finally done it. Took way longer than I had anticipated. Or than I would have wanted. Let's just get to the throne and fucking done now. Fucking done with this bullshit. I'll see you after the credits. With that, the run is officially complete, and I am now in possession of 2 rings that are only useful in PvP, in a game where I barely play PvP. Anyway, somewhere in the video I mentioned that I would come back to a certain message. Now is that time. There's a certain someone that still owes me some money, and after writing her the most miserable haiku you'll ever read, I got to work. If you've made it this far, you're entitled to clapping Nancy 1 time on the house, and you've earned my deepest gratitude. Thank you very much for watching, and I do hope to have you along with me on my next escapade. Until then, stay sharp.